Hello here, this is Art Johnson with New World Communications and welcome to my avatar. This is continuing the investigation of a beta 3D immersion software capability called VenueGen, and we're in a virtual office environment that's quite luxurious. Let me show you around here. You can see I have a full nice view of the city skyline and big screen presentation capability, and show you different angles. This is the angle of where I'm looking at here. You can see how spacious this environment is, and I can walk at various I can walk within the environment, and you see my screen over here and point to it here and show you that I have the capability. And this is a pretty nice capability. This is a PowerPoint slideshow here. I'll just go ahead and start the we'll go full screen here. So you can see I have the capability of presenting, and I also have a ability to present on the side here too, so it's very interesting. Or go full screen with it. The rental of the suite is very provocative. The suite also includes a virtual yacht that you can cruise 9 people on, a smaller boardroom. Here is the actual office environment we're here, which is comfortably seating for 4. This is a huge venue with currently seating for up to 50, and there'll be more in the fall. And this is a little espresso coffee house venue. This is a virtual focus group. We've been talking about this. You've heard us talk about this for a while. This is a kind of like a late night show format, big audience. And this is an interesting internet cafe where you can say, hey, let's do lunch, but you can actually eat your sandwich somewhere else, and someone could have their sandwich somewhere else and still meet in the courtyard. So it's pretty neat. And this is the sailboat venue that we think we are really excited about because it's so fun. The experience is different and fresh, admittedly, and it's an outcome of marketplace development. Second Life, 3D gaming. This isn't Second Life. This is a much smaller, accessible, less overwhelming or daunting environment. This is just a web conferencing service, basically, with different venues, made from the availability of code that comes out of the gaming industry, with applying the research of lessons learned with the shortcomings of other ways of trying to do virtual meetings and distance education, distance learning. And so, you know, you really ask, well, yeah, this is great, but what about the body language? What's it like being an avatar? And it's really fun, if I can say so myself. And you know, it's pretty nice when you can walk over, you know, you walk over to a place over here and your screen still stays there with you and kind of work the room. And look at this. This is just amazing in terms of this. So I think it's just amazing, some of the creativity and the innovation that's gone here. Let me go over here and sit back down while I'm presenting. So I can go over here and sit back down. You still have my presentation right before you, so your eyes are not even off the screen here. So let's go full screen again. So it's really interesting. I think it does create more feeling of engagement here. You know, there's no better way to do this than doing in a physical world meeting where you have focus, eye contact here, and the empowerment is great and presence is felt, and you have that kind of intimacy. But it's possible, I think, over time to have a bunch of people in this room together, you know, the regular people, as opposed to the ones who are regularly on a conference call here. I mean, this venue, this is the best here, and the next people next go to is conference call. But, you know, those just, and pictures are worth 1,000 words. You know, people, they say these things are actually brain tiring because 30% of your time is trying to figure out where they're located, you know, and then someone hogs the phone and you can't, you know, give them the eye contact, you know, give them the message that, hey, look, you're being obtrusive. It sucks big time. You can't see the body language, no focus, no subtle, what they call focus voting, no empowerment, no presence, no intimacy. And telepresence is a better deal, but they're so expensive. These are big rooms that Cisco was bought from Tandberg and Polycom but the access is limited, and you still got to transport yourself physically to these places to do this. And those are just some. And then there's so that's telepresence. Then you go back over here to web conferencing. People are familiar with that, WebEx and GoToMeeting, but you don't get much focus. You can't see anybody's body language. The cues aren't seen. And because people don't have control of making contact, they don't feel that, they're challenged because they get mad because they're not empowered. And the presence is a challenge. The format's always the same. It's kind of boring compared to this stuff. And of course, there's video conferencing. There's different systems that I've actually tried. Meritech was very much like this before it was purchased by Google, with multiple heads here. But, they don't really see each other. And so there's not as much eye-to-eye contact. There's not as much focus or body language. And here's the only body language I can see. This guy's little thumb here. So the gestures are not well seen unless people hold up their hands. And so the next best thing to the 3D, I think, is the web conferencing. We've been doing a lot with iLink. We can supplement that and create more engagement, because we do a couple things. We have live webcams that we can have across the top, and we can actually roll in videos we've produced on YouTube using low-cost technology. So we can get a feeling of more engagement, and we're recommending people to go this way as a kind of making the steps 1 through 5. We talked about this before, and this is the only one that has a patented green meter that measures the miles not traveled and the physical world miles not traveled and the fuel not spent and even the pounds of CO2 not emitted. So that's a really great deal. But when you really look at the long run, as the culture begins to change and people can get more used to it, I invite everyone to go for a meeting with me. We're actually going to start a 3D think tank for those people that are really interested and want to kind of investigate this in a more protected way. And it's really good on the engagement. This is what the engagement is for a physical world meeting in terms of focus and presence and feelings of empowerment. But the feeling is, for those people who actually been inside of this is what they really respond to. They really like this. And compared to the practical efficiency, this 3D immersion is a lot more efficient or practical than trying to fly people in for conferences or drive all the way to Olympia for training, for sales training or staff development. And it really holds up. Now, web conferencing is also good for efficiency, but it doesn't hold up quite as much as the engagement because of the body language issue here. So 3D immersions by far on the most efficient way to create the highest level of engagement, creating the most value and least limitations of all the distance meeting modalities, according to this study here. So anyway, that's pretty much it. That's the idea here. I hope that you really like the idea of at least seeing this on YouTube here. We're trying to stay within the 10-minute thing so we can get this right up on YouTube. But we're really, we're really passionate about this. We think this is going to really help a lot of people, and we can boogie with this thing. We can have a ball with this thing. So, and don't quote us, but we think we can create a whole new blue ocean of uncontested market space. So I really want to thank you so much for this, and why don't we just talk to each other and see what we can do. Thank you so much for your help and for watching.